Welcome to this week's guided meditations class. Here we are. So for today, first of all, thank you for being here. For today, we're going to have three practices as we do, and we're going to start with something that I call what is here now, and it's a practice of mindful awareness. So it's similar to other kind of mindfulness practices. It's similar to what we already do, it just has a name. So I'll walk you through that. That'll be a couple of minutes, then we'll go into our movement practice. And for the guided rest today, I'm going to be reading a brief passage from this book. And some of you have seen this before or heard me talk about this before. This is a book called Pause, Rest, Be by Octavia Raheem. And Octavia is an author, a mother. She's a yoga teacher and activist. I think of her kind of as like a rest activist, like Trisha Hersey of the Nap Ministry, if you know her. And she, her work is all around rest practices, and she really believes that they might be what saves us, not just as individuals, but as a collective. So I'm going to read a short piece from this, and in that short piece is a short kind of visualization. So I'll read those pieces, and as always, that you'll allow yourself to participate as little or as much as you wish here today. I hope that you'll honor your own level of energy, and that you'll trust any resistance you have as some kind of intelligent no. So, sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to do this, and we feel like we ought to push through. I'm encouraging you to do the opposite, that if something doesn't feel good or doesn't feel welcome, that in fact, that might be some kind of intelligent protection from your body. So that's a good reminder always, I think. So you can start right where you are. You can start with your eyes open or your eyes closed. If sight is available to you and you want to keep your eyes open, it might be useful to find a place to gaze and then keep your gaze kind of still on that point. But you can also have your eyes closed, whatever you prefer. And so the practice will be to notice what is here right now. And so I'll repeat this in the next few minutes over and over again, and I'll suggest some ways that you can notice what is here now. So if we were to start by noticing what is here right now as far as sound goes. And you might identify sounds to yourself like, oh, there's a car passing by. And there's the sound of a clock. There's the sound of my own breath. And what is here right now as far as sensation that can be felt? So I'm noticing I have a stuffy nose, cold fingers, and an ache in an ankle. So for you, what is here right now? Keeping it soft, not trying to notice everything. What is here right now regarding emotion or energy? You might be able to feel into some of the emotions that are present in you right now, not making any of them wrong. And or you might feel into your own energy and energy levels, whether that's to notice tiredness, exhaustion, whether that's to notice some kind of bubbly or jittery energy? What is here right now? And then for a few more breaths, you can repeat this question to yourself. What is here right now? Noticing any new sounds, any new sensations, any new emotions. And so, of course, stillness is welcome at any time. So if stillness feels more welcome, you can continue in stillness at this time. If movement is welcome, you can begin to move in any way. If you'd like some guidance, you can follow along with me. So from seated, if you are indeed seated, you might begin to rock the torso side to side. If you are lying down at this time, you might begin to rock the knees side to side with your feet on the floor. There may be some other kind of lateral or side to side movement, something very subtle or very big or in between that feels best right now. And so we begin to perhaps slow the movement down and begin to possibly attend to the sensations of this movement. So you might begin to notice what tells you that you're moving, what can be felt that tells you that you're moving in this way. There may be many things to notice. So keeping it soft, non-insistent. You might notice your weight shifting side to side. You might notice fabric of your clothing sort of sweeping against your skin. You might notice some stretch or compression or tightness in muscles or fascia. But again, the goal is not to notice everything. And you might find that you're continually drawn back to noticing one particular sensation. And so if that's the case, then I invite you to just continue to pay attention to that, whatever that might be. Maybe the face can be softer. What can be felt that tells you that you're here right now in this room as this body moving in this way? And is there any way to know when you're ready to stop? When does it feel complete for you? Or when are you ready to draw this to a close? Coming slowly back to center. Remembering that there's time enough to exhale, and perhaps with your exhale, allowing your weight working less hard to hold yourself up or to pull yourself together, allowing yourself to sink even a subtle amount. From here, perhaps moving into our cat-cow. So from seated, it might be to tuck the tailbone around the back. Reverse the tuck of the tailbone, lift up through the crown of the head. If you're lying down, you can lift the low back up, keeping the hips down, and then release the low back down to the ground. If you're inclined to keep this more subtle today, you might continue in this way. If you feel like you need more of something, you might add the arms and hands in. So it could be as you lift up that you take the palms up and sweep the arms back. It could be as you tuck the tailbone and round the back that you draw the arms and hands in. Could be like into a hug, or to draw the fingers in tight like a bud. If your hands are involved now in the movement of this pattern, you might draw your awareness towards what can be felt against your palms, against your fingertips. Feeling into perhaps the stretch of the fingers wide. What else can you feel that tells you that you're moving right now? And again, perhaps going slowly enough so that you could pause at any time. There may be a moment when you want to stop moving, kind of feel into your body in space, the position it's in, the kind of the area it's taking up. Once more, watching for that moment when you're ready to let the pattern of movement dissolve. Coming back to whatever feels like center. See if anything's needed, any other kind of movement. Once more, allowing some time for the exhale, allowing your weight to settle any amount. From here, the possibility of bending the elbows to bring the hands up to about heart height. See if you can feel into your hands here, or see if you can feel the surface of your hands. You might feel cool air or internal tingling or numbness. You can do this in stillness or moving the hands. And then this slow walk of the fingertips towards each other, slow enough so that you're present for the moment when they touch. And with fingertips touching, going into this little pulsating star. And you can link the breath with this movement, or you can focus more on the movement if focusing on the breath is stressful for you. So I've got my fingertips touching, my thumbs touching, fingers are wide. And then if I were to draw the fingers and thumbs towards each other so that your hands end up in a little C shape. And so we're going to go in between this wide stretch of the hands, fingertips still touching, and drawing the fingertips together closely. You could, with your inhale, expand the fingers if that feels wise. You might, with an exhale, draw the fingers back towards each other, or you can allow the breath to do whatever it wants to do and focus more on the sensations of this stretch of the fingers here, as if there was no rush, and as if noticing your body moving in this way in this moment is worthy time spent. So when you're ready to release the effort, you can allow and notice the hands releasing down. Notice where they want to land. See if anything's wanted, anything's needed as far as movement is concerned. And moving into any kind of side stretch. You can proceed in any way, or you can join me if you like some guidance. And so it might be that now, with eyes open or closed, you bring awareness to your left hand and notice where it's landed, what it's touching, what shape it's in, knowing that there's no right answer. There's just noticing how it is. Left hand. And as you're ready, you can lift the left hand up and bring the left hand down either to couch or chair seat or to floor, leaning over into that hand. And perhaps already you're getting some stretch through the opposite side. You can pause here. This can be your side stretch, or you might lift the opposite elbow up or lift the opposite hand up and over. Eventually coming back to center, releasing the raised hand and paying attention as this right hand now finds the seat of your, whatever you're sitting on, or finds the floor. Leaning over into that hand and then lifting either opposite elbow or opposite hand up and over, if that's part of this practice for you. Once more, paying attention as the effort is released, the hand is released down, and the hand finds some surface on which to lean and land. So just continuing here for another round or two side to side, taking your time, feeling into the sensations of this particular pattern of movement, noticing what is felt, noticing where you feel it. And perhaps even adding in the first practice we did by saying, okay, what sensations are here now? And then asking that again. And now. Whenever you're ready to let this pattern end, you can come back to center slowly. Pausing to allow time for your exhale, allow your weight. See if stillness is welcome, or if there's some kind of unstructured movement that wants to happen. And from here, going into a little arm sweep. And in some bodies, what might happen is this will include a little spinal twist. In other bodies, that may feel like a no. So let me just show you two possible options, or there may be something else that you're up to. So if you begin wherever you are with your hands by your sides, your arms by your sides, maybe exhaling to do less with the shoulders and less with the eyebrows. I love that, less with the eyebrows. And so from here, I'm going to start by taking my arms to the right. So I'm going to lift both arms and allow them to move over to the right. But to begin, I'm going to keep my torso centered. So this is the version without a spinal twist. So lifting the arms, letting them move to the right, yeah? Lifting the arms back and over to the left. So for now, this is one possibility where the spine is staying centered. There's no spinal twist, but the arms are moving side to side. So this might be for you to do. Another possibility among many is to do the same pattern of movement with the arms, but allow the torso to twist. So it could be that as I take my arms to the right, my torso, my gaze also comes to the right. Maybe, but it's not better. It's just another way, right? So if a spinal twist is not for you, then you won't be twisting. You'll be simply moving the arms. So eyes open or eyes closed, whatever helps you notice more, whatever helps you feel more comfortable in your body. And it might be one or the other, and it could vary from day to day, hour to hour. How do you know you're moving right now? What can you feel inside the body? And what can you feel in the periphery of the body, like temperature or air? And when you've completed around side to side, at some point coming back to center. And here again, let's see if there's anything that wants to happen. So you might want to do some shaking or wiggling. Especially if you're seated on the ground or on a chair, wiggling can be good. Could be some wiggling. There might be some rolling the shoulders. So again, anything that feels welcome right now, that wants to happen right now, is welcome. From here, it could be that you unfold your legs. If your legs have been folded up as mine are, taking my hands to my outer knees and drawing my knees up and feet to the floor. And so from here, perhaps stretching both legs out, perhaps stretching one leg out at a time. I'll be stretching one leg out at a time here. I'm going to take both hands to my left knee, draw that knee in and stretch my right leg long and press out through the heel. Maybe wiggle the toes, feel into that. And so I'll be going side to side as I often do, drawing the right leg up, stretching the left leg long. Remember, when I say stretch the leg out, every hip anatomically is different. And so some folks will be stretching the leg more forward. Some people will be stretching it a little more out to the side. So you're looking for an angle that feels welcome, that feels good in your low back, your hips. Taking your time, you might be able to feel into stretch through the back of the leg or somewhere else. You might hear the sound of a leg or foot sliding against the floor. What tells you that you're moving right now? And when you finished around side to side, coming back to some comfortable position that feels like center to you, and just consider what else might want to happen. So often at this stage of the game in this class, in my body, I want to stretch out some more. That may or may not be true for you, but I'm feeling that. So you could stand up. You could stretch your arms out. You could stretch your legs and arms out. Is stillness welcome? What else wants to happen? What else feels good right now? And eventually coming back to center, and either once more bringing your gaze forward on a still point or closing your eyes. And pausing to acknowledge, to notice the ending of the guided movement practice. And as we pause with one practice ended and the other not yet begun, beyond movement, see if anything else is needed right now. So, do you need a drink of water? Do you need to open or close a window? When you're ready to do so, you can begin to set up for our guided rest. So, whether that means you're sitting or lying down, whether you're curled up or stretched out, is there any way to know today what might serve your body, what might feel good? What position might allow you to yield a little bit and do less? And of course, always reserving the right to change your mind, change your position, shift at any time. So continuing to set yourself up here. And as you kind of land in your chosen position, noticing something about this moment in this body. So maybe noticing what parts of you are directly supported by the surface beneath you. Perhaps noticing something about the space that you're in, the light. And so, as I mentioned at the beginning of our class time, I'll be reading from Octavia Raheem's book called Pause, Rest, Be. And I'm reading a it's not a long passage, it's a very short, it's a couple page or two. And it ends with a short guided, kind of a guided visualization related to what's been read. And so, as always, not everything that's offered may be for you to do today. So you can allow yourself to focus on any part of this. You're allowed to have any reaction or response that you have to what's being read. I hope you find it. I hope you find something of support here. This is a very short chapter, 2-page chapter called Down by the Riverside. And I'll just give you a little bit of context. Octavia wrote this second book of hers during the pandemic. And so she actually dedicated this to all those who survived the pandemic and all those who did not. down by the riverside. The gentle is powerful. I am looking at a river flow, a steady, slow stream. There are heavy rocks anchored beneath the pulsing river. I lean forward to sense the depth and touch the movement of this moment. Up close, I see the rocks worn, clearly affected, transformed even by the ambling, unhurried dance of water, passing eternity after eternity over them. I look to the river to teach me a way to live, exist, and be. River speaks to me in whispers and slow rhythms, slow rhymes. River says, watch me. I am unhurried, and I have been for millions of years. I know my rhythm and the very drumbeat of life. I am soft and fluid, yet I change everything I touch. I am changed by everything that touches me. I resist nothing. Most years I am gentle. Here I am, down by the riverside. So much has ended. We all have been changed. I offer my endings to the river. I offer our collective endings to the river. I stand here being washed over, yet fully participating in the shift. As I am cleansed, I am also worn. For tomorrow, I carry both the wisdom of the river and the soul of the rock in my heart. Honestly, I am afraid. Truthfully, I am still brave. Imagine you are sitting before an ancient river. Imagine you can hear the river song. You can see the water flow over rocks. Imagine you can feel a breeze touch your hands and your heart. And imagine you can taste the cool freshness of the air on your lips. What ending would you like to offer to the river? What is ending? You might turn your palms up or imagine that you do so. You might imagine that you reach your hands forward and offer something to the river, something that speaks to this ending, something that represents an ending. You might do this once, or you might do this many times. May you be free and lighter as you make this offering and face this end. And so I'm going to read the guided visualization piece once more slowly. Imagine you are sitting before an ancient river and you can hear the river's song. You can see the water flow over rocks. Feel a breeze touch your hands and your heart. And taste the cool freshness of the air on your lips. What ending would you like to offer to the river? You could turn your palms up and reach your hands forward, offering something to the river. May you be free and lighter as you make this offering and face this end. Whenever you feel ready to do so, you might allow these images and this practice to be released or to dissolve. coming back to find yourself here. You might gently deepen your inhales and begin to move in subtle ways. And as you breathe, allowing yourself to move in any way that feels good, any kind of stretch or rolling around, anything that feels welcome. If you've been lying down, you might slowly roll to your side. And then take your time to press up to sit. And so we close with each other in mind. Hands to heart, hands to the earth. Offering out a breath or a silent thank you to the others. Offering that same kindness to yourself. And perhaps even bowing your head to the wisdom that's already within you right here and right now. And so it is. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.